YouTube says I'm live. So let's see. It's Friday. It's Friday night. Although there's no real Friday in transportation, it just seems like every day is a Monday. That's what it seems like, at least. It so that's always interesting. Jose, you're first in. How are you, sir? It's a little Friday kind of chit chat. I've got a few minutes. I don't know how long. I'm actually at Kyle's school. They're finishing up baseball practice. Thought I would. I thought I would just go live for a few minutes. I want to touch on this article that I. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny at all, but it is sort of a sign of the times relative to the trucking industry. I thought we'd chat for a few minutes. So, if you're catching this on the recorded side, I'll try to put a link down to the description to the article. It's from the truckersreport.com. They always have some interesting articles, stuff that kind of keeps my attention. It's hard to keep my attention on articles and things. There sort of has to be some meat to the message. And the articles that they post, I don't know who their editor is, but I actually enjoy that site. So if you guys don't, it's not a paid advertisement. Never even spoke to anybody from there, but interesting stuff. Truckersreport.com, I think that's what it is. I'll put the link down if you're on the recorded version. For those in this live feed, the the article basically said that the Colorado Department of Transportation, I think it was on Wednesday, they were hacked. And the hackers went in and and sort of held ransom all their files. Now, Colorado CDOT says, "Hey, look, we back everything up, so we're good. You know, nothing to see here. Move along." Pretty much is what they said. The interesting thing is those that were doing the hacking were demanding payment in Bitcoin. What was missing? The most interesting part of this article to me was what was missing. What was missing was how much they were asking for the ransom. I thought that was interesting. That's what I sort of want to know. I get why they wouldn't release that information, but that's sort of just a sign of the times. I think of where we live, especially with transportation. So much technology is rushing into our industry. We're gonna have a lot of changes, and people can have a tough time keeping up with it. Case in point, I sort of made an idiot move. I think it was yesterday. So I did a live feed. Was it a morning or two ago? And I was talking about the JB Hunt load board that they had reached out. Basically, they're going to create an online auction where you, as a carrier or an owner operator, can see what others are bidding on the lane. And so when I started that live feed, there was some sort of error message, so I killed it and I restarted it up just a moment or two later. Yesterday, as I logged into YouTube, I noticed that the original live feed, the first one that had the error message, was still trying to upload. So I went in to delete it. I ended up deleting both videos. So that wasn't so smart. But thankfully, no one had hacked me, and no one was demanding ransom in Bitcoin. I probably would have had to phone a friend. I would probably had to phone Canal for some Bitcoin if that were the case. So I felt kind of stupid with that. Let me see who else in here. Let me actually take my glasses off. Doug, good evening. Wesley's in the house. I'm not sure, Wesley. I'm not sure who did it. Leo, how are you? Rhymes with Orange. Haven't seen you in a while. Good afternoon. Andrew, hello. The other trucker, James Best. Good evening. Charles Brandt. Let me jump down. Howard is here. I just want everybody to know. I'd like to go on record. Howard sent me a really naughty picture about an hour or two ago. He sent me a picture of a video that I made for for us, for our drivers, our team, transportation. Howard didn't like the message, so he took a picture of his middle finger and he sent it to me. I thought that was really disappointing. And so I think, I don't know, we probably should take a YouTube vote of how we handle that, whether or not we should write him up or not. Mr. Freight Shaker says that he's going to hack me and demand flowers for payment. Listen, that is, if you'll give me about a month, I can make that payment. I can make that payment. Who's the mole? It's funny. Howard's now begging Howard's now begging to be fired, and he sort of knows that that's nonsense because flower season is literally around the corner, and so he sort of has this sense of invincibility right now. Drink any more dog? I have not. Little dog just sent me a text message that came in. I didn't know he was here, but he sent me a picture with the middle finger. That's awesome. Clearly, that's going to be the trend for this weekend, and that has sort of summarizes the months that we're having in February. Kind of the middle finger. That sort of sums it all up. Yeah, no, and Charlie, you don't need permission to give Howard the little finger. Who has the link for JBG freeloading fuel? I have no earthly idea what you're talking about, so I apologize. Maybe somebody else does, but I don't. So no, whoever it was, Sam had asked if I've drank any more dog food. No, I haven't. No, in fact, so I also have like the multiple peanut butter jars, like for whenever you give dogs peanut butter to give them a pill or something like that. Was it a year or so ago? In black Sharpie, like big, I put dog food right on the red peanut butter lid, and because I just use like stuff to scoop out for them. And it's sort of like it's got dog germs in it, and I don't know. It was like a year or two ago. I came down in the middle of the night, and for whatever reason, I wanted peanut butter, not thinking that I put both of those peanut butters like in the same area. I ate dog food peanut butter. So that didn't work out so well. So now those two peanut butters are aside. So no, I've not managed to eat any more dog food peanut butter or drink any more dog food remnants. When am I going to release my lease purchase plan? All right, so that's been a topic. Quite a few guys have emailed me. I did say March. We're working on it. We should have sort of what I'll call structure in place. So here's the thing, if you guys want the honest truth. So we have ran a ton of numbers. I still don't like it one bit. I still think it's a bad deal. In fact, I was on a call with a gentleman yesterday. I won't mention his name. I haven't really seen him. He might be someone that just watches the channel and doesn't comment a lot. I spoke to him and I told him straight up, I would recommend not doing the lease op. And so I'm still not a big fan of it, but I've basically put the onus now on Steve to create some of the structure, and I've given him until March 1st. He says that he'll have it ready by March 1st. And again, by having it ready, what I'm referring to is the structure. From that point, I'm a few weeks for having attorneys finalize terms, conditions, and all that stuff. So we're still looking at March for now, and that's kind of what I'm anticipating. So that's sort of the latest and greatest. No, little dog. Yukon, how are you? Can't afford to fire Howard. Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Nobody is beyond firing. I don't mind that Howard sends me a picture of the middle finger. Yeah. Look, here's what's sad. I'm so ready for this house to be done. So those that kind of know me personally know that I've been really, this is total first world problems. I've been whining about the house. Very long story short, I actually backed out of the house about 3 weeks ago or so. So frustrated with the whole situation. And the other real issue is the house is a lot smaller than I know I'm going to be comfortable with. And that sounds really bad to say. It sounds like first world problems, which it is. But the other issue is like most of everything I have now is like an entire cabinet, 2 cabinets full of red Solo cups from Costco. So I feel like I'm 18 years old again in college, living like a college guy. Kristen has made fun of me. Everybody's made fun of me. That's fine. That's how it goes. But I'm sort of ready. I'm sort of ready for everything to be done at the house. Logic Neo, I will not fire you. I like some of your editing stuff, man. I really do. I do. Is it going to be dispatch or load board? Yes, Caslin. The answer to that. Is that for owner operator? Will Burke asks. Yes, we intend to have an owner operator offering as well. Yukon, no, I do not want anything to do with the Northeast. I understand that you say that there's good money up there. I don't want any stinking part of it. Tolls kill us. February was so stupid bad for us. Really, it was our own problems, our own mistakes, which really pisses me off because that falls on my shoulders. But no, I don't want any part of the stinking Northeast. you want to do everything Ike does? That's funny. You're welcome, Neil. Let's see. You'll never make more as a company. That's your opinion. So I guess here's my opinion on that. Is it depends on which company. I mean, that's sort of thing. I saw when I was scrolling through this. Actually, earlier I was listening. As I was driving over here, I was listening to SoCal, and as I was pulling up his thing, there was a Trucker Brown. It said something like how I made $100 grand, and then when I looked at the title said how I made 70 to 100 grand. So I don't know. Most of our guys do pretty well here. I'm sure everybody wants to make more money. We all do. But I don't know. I think based on all the owner operators and lease operators that I have talked to over the past couple of years, our guys do as good, if not better than most of the owner operators, lease operators, and they don't have the risk. But again, it's all relative. It really is. Harding is in the house, and he says he's not going to give Howard the middle finger. He's going to buy him a green hoodie. So I don't know if you guys follow Joe on Instagram. Joe, what's your Instagram? Type your. If you guys are Instagram, go follow Harding. One, his stuff is like incredibly funny, and two, he had the most ridiculous scale ticket that I have ever seen. I heard about it this morning. I heard that he went and had a chat with the guys on the dock. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation. I have never seen like that at all. That was the most ridiculous thing. Yukon says, I don't want a truck that makes 10 grand a week and doesn't run on the weekends. I'm not saying that. Here's the problem with that, Yukon. It's not that I don't want a truck that doesn't make 10 grand a week. I just don't want a truck that's going to cost me 11 grand a week to run the Northeast. See, that's the thing. I don't care what it really costs to run the truck. What I care is about profit. That's all I care about. That's not all I care about, but relative to numbers. Adam says, you also treat you guys the right way. It's all about who's in management. There's a lot to be said for that. There is Harding's Instagram. If you guys are catching this on the recorded side, it is at OMGJDH. Pretty funny stuff. John Holmes in the house. How are you, sir? Slide your tandems. No, trust me, guys. There was no. I mean, Harding needed a trailer that was like 85 foot long to be able to make this legal. There was no. If you guys have saw Ike's video where the guy in the Swift truck is backing up and freight starts falling off, Harding probably could have used that option. He probably could have thrown it in the reverse, hit 30 miles an hour, slammed on the brakes. At that point, he might have been able to slide some tandems around. Stupidest thing I've ever seen, honestly. I've seen a lot of stupid stuff. I've done a lot of stupid stuff. That rate's up there. It really does. I don't know why everybody's buying Howard hoodies. Nobody ever. I shouldn't say nobody ever buys me anything. That's not true. I've had a lot of people ask me for an address or like a PO box. I've not done that. I'd, I'd be scared to know what people would send me. I do appreciate a lot of the messages and some of the letters and stuff. Those are always nice. It's always nice to hear positive people saying nice things, especially in our industry that's just kind of rough and tough, right? So Shepard says, "What was the weight? They loaded me to 81,000." No, his total. Here's the worst part. His gross was maybe he's commenting down below. His gross was like 80, or excuse me, 65 and some change. Joe, what was? Could you throw the numbers up here? He was like 17. I don't remember. Throw your numbers. Throw the numbers of that scale ticket. Caslin, it's going to be both load board and if you want dispatch, great. You can pick your own. All right. For those on the recorded side, Harding says that his tandems were all the way forward. Load was 29,800. Had 37 plus on the tandems. What were your scale numbers? Like, give me the breakdown though on the scale ticket. Okay, so here's the thing. Charlie mentions that he did bring me a bunch of used bottle caps. I want to talk about this for just a minute. YouTube is interesting to me. Starting businesses are interesting to me. I have had an idea of starting a I'm not going to call it a business. Essentially, creating a startup that we're going to sell things, and I wanted to sort of watch it succeed or fail on YouTube. And I thought there were some parallels relative to the transportation industry. Kind of, you got a lot of guys wanting to start up businesses and that sort of thing. And I wanted to use those bottle caps, Charlie, for that. I don't know how many people would find that interesting. It's something that I've kind of wanted to do for probably 10 or 15 years. I think once I get into the house and sort of get settled, I sort of want to. I want to try to go to YouTube with that model and to see if there'll be any success. Again, it's just sort of guys watching this either succeed or fail, and if it fails, we can try to dissect why. If it succeeds, we can understand why that might be applicable to other people's business. That probably sounds really horrible, but that's sort of my idea. Oklahoma Dave, how are you? Yeah, 37,000 on the drives. Dixie Fellow retracted their message. Yeah, the weight's pretty stupid. Catherine says, okay, thank you. I'll look forward to seeing the lease agreement and the fixed costs. Yeah, right. 11. All right, here we go. Finally, we're getting where we want to be. So Harding had 11,700 on the steers, 37,680 on the drives, and 16,520 on the tandems. Math gets really hard with that right there. That's where you sort of go, it's probably not going to happen. Yukon says you had to go look it up. 2,000 mile average, his cost per mile was $1.07. There's money here. Our costs have jumped significantly this month. It sort of began to carry over from the last week or so of January, but our costs have really spiked. Some of that cost is out of our control. Unfortunately, a lot of that cost is within our control, and that's been pretty frustrating for me. I'll say that politely. Stephen Tucker says that is heavy on the drives, and yeah, man, it was. I don't even know how. It just makes you wonder how people have a job if that's what they're doing. I don't know. But those are some ridiculous numbers. You sort of, like I said, you just sort of wonder what those guys are doing, how they have a job. I can't imagine how many times people have to go back to get reweighed. I don't know. That's kind of it. Let's see. DOT gets hacked. They demand payment in Bitcoin. What else is going on with you? Anything interesting going on? Anybody have any great plans? Kristen's sending me some text messages that I see here of the guinea pigs. I don't know what's going on there. Apparently that's her Friday night. What kind of loads get your company the most? Brian Garcia, what kind of loads gets your company the most? The most what? Multiple stop. I'm not sure what you're asking there. Jim says, looks like JBG, I'm not sure who JBG is, pulled his comment down from, I did hear, I did hear something about our little dog's video on that. So now I know what you're talking about. Dixie Fell's on the way home. That's cool. Kyle texted me last night asking if I would pick him up, if we could go buy baseball pants, which I don't know why we need more baseball pants. He has 5 pair. The season's not that long. I mean, he's pretty hard on baseball pants. He's not that hard. So I don't know why we need more, but apparently we're going to go buy more. Yukon says his daughter turns 5 tomorrow. Big party. Send presents. She likes the kind of presents that fold. Send to my PayPal. That's fine. So Kyle, my son turns 16 on the 27th of February, and here's the thing. Knock on wood, man. He's a pretty good driver. The one thing that he does that jumps out, so he does a lot of things pretty well for someone with very little experience. The one thing he does that drives me bonkers, he follows way too close, and I can't seem to get that through his head. His girlfriend just totaled her car 2 or 3 weeks ago because she was Snapchatting. And the funny part about that is, I was talking to her about it, and I said, "So, hey, Jesse, what happened?" And she played the whole, I was sneezing. So I looked at her and I said, "Hey, Jesse, you can cut the BS. What really happened? Nobody totals their car because they sneezed." And to which she sort of got the big eyes, right? And she's like, "I was Snapchatting." But she's fine. The other lady was fine. Car not so fine. I hope that's a message for Kyle. But considering he was still following close after the fact, I don't think so. So if anybody has any great ideas how you teach a kid not to follow close, maybe there's some good YouTube videos of like horrific car wrecks or something that I could scare him to death with. I don't know. Brian says the most money. Sorry, multiple stop loads, or do you have contracts with certain companies? So we have had contracts with direct customers in the past, and certainly that's the most money. Is the short answer. Yes. Typically, the way, there's a lot of data from outside consultants that will tell you the companies the drivers that get paid the least are dry van, then reefer, then hazmat kind of related stuff. Thrown in that hazmat area are your flatbedders and that sort of stuff, and then the guys that are doing multi-stop driver assist kind of stuff typically tend to be on the higher end of that scale. Again, that's not my opinion. That's from data from outside consultants. Kevin says, as a former baseball coach and player, I ripped so many pairs. Yeah, I know, for sure, right? But yes. But here's the thing, Caslin, and you can, if you were a former athlete, you'll know what I'm about to say. You could have 5 pair of the same kind of pants, 5 pair of the same socks. You could have 2 pairs of shoes, but you have your favorite pair of whatever it is, right? You have your one favorite pair of pants, your one favorite pair of socks, and and so I would always make my mom. So in fact, actually, she made me. She ended up teaching me how to sew, which was good. But I would always sew them up, and then ended up looking stupid after a while. But yeah. Gary Freishaker says today's his 21st birthday again. That's fine. Kyle's going to get a ticket for tailgating. No, Kyle doesn't, Adam. No. Here's the thing. Let me restate that question. If anybody has an idea that doesn't involve a wreck or a ticket, throw that out there. No. We get enough. I have enough issues with CSA scores that we're just about to roll off here in April and May of this year from years ago that I still get the shakes on. I don't need more tickets. Air horn, Zach Robinson says. Tucker says, showing the one of the guy texting and driving and then running up underneath the DOT bumper. You're talking about the Corvette? If you're talking about the Corvette, I have seen that picture. If there's a different one, let me know if there's one on YouTube. Here's the thing. This kid, you know that saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? He is my only child, and never would I have thought that another human being would be so similar in so many of all the wrong ways as to somebody else. He is so much like me. It is really scary in a lot of ways. Yeah, Steve, I'll look for that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Hi, Barb. How are you? She said to install some kind of fake gizmo. Here's what we're going to do. Howard, can you send me an ELD? We're going to throw an ELD on the Tahoe. Can we do that? That would be interesting to really see, wouldn't it? That might be worth its own YouTube videos right there. Put a Bendix on his bumper. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I did offer him the Raptor a few months back, which I totally thought he was going to go for. I mean, the thought never crossed my mind of him saying no. I sort of want to get another Super Duty. And I thought, man, what a good excuse for me to get a new Super Duty. I'll give him the Raptor, and then I'll need an excuse, of course, to go buy another truck. And he came back and said, no, I really want the Tahoe. He said the Raptor was too quick, and the brakes were too touchy, which the brakes are pretty touchy, but so I wasn't expecting that at all. So I guess I'll probably just keep the Raptor for a while. Scott says, I just got here. What did I miss? He's the owner. He's a blank. Boy, that's an interesting comment, Scott. There's a lot of people that would love to fill in those blanks. Yeah. Joe Harding. If the geotab is screaming at you, that means you're doing bad things. That would be awesome. Howard, the more I think about this, the more I like this. Can you call me after this, see if we can put a geotab in the Tahoe? Charlie says he rode with a friend through Nashville, stomping the floor when she was following too close. After I pointed it out and explained it, she got it, but she's 45 and not 16. You know, what's funny is Kyle sort of has those moments of he knows everything. What he has learned through the years of sports is I know a couple things. And so we sort of have that interesting relationship where there are times when he sort of feels like he knows everything. But there are also a lot of times when he actually just listens, like, you know, he just kind of shuts up, looks you square in the eye and listens. And I'm grateful for that. Adam, let me tell you what. Here's something that's really funny. Aggressive driving is 8 points in Arizona, he said. So I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. I'll keep this person nameless. But a good friend of mine decided that they were going to try. We had been having a lot of banter about Uber drivers and Lyft drivers and that sort of thing. And they said, I'm going to do this. Now, this is the person that, if you knew who this person was, we would all agree, hands down, this is the last person on the planet that should be driving any of the human beings around. No kidding, they go and they sign up. Somehow Lyft approves them. This is Mario Andretti is a less aggressive driver than this person. And I couldn't wait to see what the reviews on them were gonna be. And surprisingly, there were some that were good, but there were some that were really bad. I think mostly people were just too scared to even review them, but they did that for 1 month and they were done. Change the motor to a 4-cylinder. He doesn't drive. I mean, he drives kind of fast on the freeway, But you know how we all know how that is. I mean, sort of once you get on the freeway, if you're not driving 75 or whatever, you're going to get ran over. Geo Metro, Scott, that's the car. Hey, I got a funny story about that. Buddy of mine I went to high school with. We went to the same college. He played basketball. He was intoxicated one night, and he had the Geo. Was it a Geo Metro? Does that sound familiar to anybody? All I know it was black, and he was going to do the Bo Duke thing where he runs and slides across the car. The guy was 6'6". He takes off running, slides across the hood. When he hits the hood, he puts the biggest butt imprint on the hood, which sort of told you everything you wanted to know about the Geo and how well they're built. That's my only real knowledge of the Geos. A smart car would be a good option. No, I mean, here's the thing: the kid loves to hunt, and he does need the Tahoe in the truck. He hauls a bunch of gear around in the back, that kind of stuff. So I kind of want him to have a truck or the Tahoe. The Tahoe concerns me. I think we all know why. Not that the bed of the truck couldn't be used for the same purpose, but we all know where that's going. I think that's why he's really pushing for the Tahoe. He's not here, so I can say that. Jay Canal, that's funny. 3-cylinder, did it look like a roller skate? It kind of did look like a roller skate. Yeah, now that you mention it, the Geo did kind of look like a roller skate. Can't go wrong with the Ford pickup, John says. You know, I don't, I've had Chevys, I've had Fords. I kind of had Chevys, first several vehicles I had were Chevys as far as trucks go. I like the Ford trucks. I like them. The Raptor's okay. It's not the Super Duty. I miss the Super Duty. Super Duty is just a lot better, I think. Although the Raptor's great, I don't pull horses and stuff like that anymore, so the Raptor's fine. It's small enough, it's easy to get into parking places and that kind of stuff. So when I do need to throw something in the bed of the truck, it's fine. Logic, what's the FTW? I don't know what that is. Zach Robinson says he had a Subaru wagon named the Shaggin' Wagon. Mazda Miata is the best car. That's funny. Oh, I'm sorry, Canal. Canal would like for me to hurry up. He wants to go live. So look, it's 6:20. Let's 6:20 here, Mountain. Let's just go for like another 2 hours, and then we'll wrap it up, Canal. Just like 2 more hours. We good with that? Everybody share this video out, and let's get a few people in here, and we'll just keep it going live just to annoy Canal. No, we'll wrap it up in a few minutes. Small Fry says he's 6'5". He rode in a smart car when he was in Seattle. Lots of legroom, surprisingly. I actually have a picture. Here's what I got. I'm going to hold this for ransom. I've got a picture of Bateski wearing a felt hat. I think that's the only time he's ever worn a felt hat. In a smart car, but like one of the it looked like a shoe. It looked like a shoe. So I do have a picture of that. I'm holding it for ransom at some point in the future. Oh, look, Jay's all getting upset. So here's the thing. If Jay goes live, everybody go into Jay's video and tell everybody to come over here and shut it down. John Hull says it should have never sold the 99 4x4 Power Stroke. No doubt. Those actually got good fuel mileage, too. Those actually got really good fuel mileage. It's 33 minutes. We should be done. I'm not going to keep it. I'll keep this up until I get back and delete it. But I guess we can be polite and let Canal go live. Although I've got, what do I have? Like, I don't know how many. What do I have? 3,000 subscribers. He's got like 33,000. I'm not sure why he's really. That's polite. Thank you, Joe. Put him in a big 80s car. He was not wearing a purple suit, Charlie. You know what, Charlie? Actually, he was wearing a purple shirt. Maybe you've seen that picture. Yeah, John Hall, I know you're right. We used to tow, pretty good sized horse trailers, and we would get ridiculously good fuel mileage. And then when they changed the engine, forgot what year it was, everything went downhill. I mean, the Raptor, what do I get? 13.2. and I kind of baby it in this truck's light. Oh, look, Canal just went live. Okay, everybody open up your thing now that he's done it, and just tell everybody to come here. It's, I wish I had my something we can make fun of Canal with. Brooke, have a good one. Let's wrap it up. It is 35 minutes. We're just talking about nonsense now. If you guys have Bitcoin, maybe you can help the Colorado DOT out. That's all I know. Go stay safe. Take care.